In this video, we're looking at the Managed Capacity page. You come to this page when you want to find out how much capacity that you need to license for IBM Storage Insights Pro. I show you how to interpret the capacity to be licensed values for your storage systems and walk you through an example scenario with a storage virtualizer that receives capacity from back-end devices. Each record on this page represents a storage system that is monitored by IBM Storage Insights. The value at the top of the page is the sum of the capacity to be licensed values for all these records. Let's look at the values that are shown for a SAN volume controller which receives capacity from back-end devices. The key value is the capacity to be licensed, which shows the managed capacity that must be licensed for the storage system. For storage virtualizers, this value includes the back-end capacity that is used by the storage system but is not monitored by IBM Storage Insights. Let's walk through an example. I added 4 non-virtualized storage systems to IBM Storage Insights for monitoring. Each device has its own managed capacity record with a separate capacity to be licensed value for each device. As these are non-virtualized devices, the monitored back-end capacity and unmonitored back-end capacity values are blank because the devices do not have any back-end capacity. Then I added a SAN volume controller, which receives back-end capacity from the 4 storage systems. You can see the 4 storage systems are listed as back-end devices for the virtualizer. Let's look at the licensing information for the 4 non-virtualized devices now. Each device still has its own managed capacity record, and there is no change to the capacity to be licensed value for these monitored devices. Now let's look at the SAN volume controller. The monitored back-end capacity value shows the capacity that the SVC receives from the 4 back-end devices. Because the capacity is from devices which are monitored and is licensed separately, that capacity is not included in the capacity to be licensed value for the SVC. The unmonitored back-end capacity value is blank, as the SVC is not receiving any capacity from devices which are not monitored. Now I add additional back-end capacity to the SVC from 2 storage systems which are not monitored. These storage systems provide capacity to the SVC, but they are not added to IBM Storage Insights for monitoring, and there is no data collection for these devices. On the Managed Capacity page, the additional capacity that the SVC receives from the devices is shown in the unmonitored back-end capacity column. Because they are not monitored by IBM Storage Insights, the devices do not have separate licensing records. The capacity from these unmonitored devices is licensed on the SVC and is included in the capacity to be licensed value for the SVC. The 57.35 TB of monitored back-end capacity is licensed separately and is not included in the capacity to be licensed of the SVC. Let's summarize the key points. Each storage system that is monitored by IBM Storage Insights has a separate record on this page with its own capacity to be licensed. The managed capacity value at the top of the page is the sum of the capacity to be licensed for your monitored storage systems. And finally, capacity from storage systems that are not monitored is licensed on the virtualizer, which receives the capacity from the back-end storage system. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our Storage Insights YouTube channel. Check out these Knowledge Center links for more information about IBM Storage Insights.